Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're digging into this really fascinating source material. It's about, well, a hidden world right under the streets of modern Chicago.
Yeah, it's this idea of ancient celestial conflicts, playing out in back alleys and on like regular city sidewalks. It's pretty wild.
Totally. And our focus is this incredibly complex figure, Brynna. She's a fallen angel,
Yeah.
basically trying really hard to just live a normal human life.
And then there's this detective, Eran Redmond, a regular guy who gets completely sucked into her world, her orbit.
So our mission here for this deep dive is kind of like extracting the rule book for this hidden society, right?
Exactly. We need the operating manual. Like, what
Yeah.
are the actual laws? Physical, intellectual, what governs these fallen angels, their kids, the Nephilim, and the supernatural killers sent after them.
Okay, and the story kicks off with this amazing hook. And it immediately shows how uh, disconnected Brynna is from our reality.
Yeah, the Walgreens incident.
Right. She's at a Walgreens. She's just been shot. She's got these nasty second-degree burns. And she flat out refuses any kind of normal medicine. Gauze, salve, anything.
Which is the first big clue, isn't it? Why reject basic first aid?
Well, because for her, all that stuff,
Yeah.
human convenience, modern science, it's just totally alien.
She knows the burn is bad, yeah, but she also knows her body's just gonna, well, heal itself really fast.
The sources point out she doesn't get simple stuff like electrical wiring or even clotheslines, things we take for granted.
But then, paradoxically, she instantly picks up on complex ideas, modern slang. Her brain is working on a whole different level than her, like, cultural awareness.
Okay, let's dig into that identity more. She's not just any powerful being. She's specifically called Highborn.
That's the term, yeah. Brynna is a highborn fallen angel. Her original name or demon designation is Astarte, and she's actively trying to find redemption.
And this Highborn status dictates her whole physical reality, doesn't it?
Absolutely. She's physically imposing, like 6'2", and has this unusual strength. There's a scene in jail where she just pins another inmate's ankle to the floor effortlessly.
And that strength comes with this unbelievable physical toughness. Healing isn't just possible. It's like the default setting.
Right. Those burns from Walgreens, they fade to just pink marks in days. Bullet wounds, they seal up almost immediately.
So the rule seems to be her human disguise is fragile, vulnerable even, but her actual underlying self, almost indestructible by normal means. Conventional weapons just don't cut it.
Yeah, and it really speaks to the burden she carries, living this fragile human life, and she knows she's built for something way bigger, way more durable.
And how does she navigate this human world then, with all its dangers?
Well, a key part is her senses, specifically her sense of smell. It's mentioned as being far, far superior to any humans. She can track people just by their scent, cut through all the noise of a big city like Chicago.
And it's that sense of smell that leads her to the central conflict, doesn't it? The Nephilim.
Exactly. She encounters this guy, Toby Gallagher. Seems like a really decent person, generous. And she immediately picks up this incredible, irresistible scent from him right before he's murdered.
So who are the Nephilim, according to these sources?
They're defined pretty clearly. The children born from an angel father and a human mother. And they are absolutely central to this war playing out on Earth.
And that scent, how is it described?
It's unmistakable, apparently. Deep, alluring. The text uses this image of a mist of clean ocean water. For Brynna, even as a demon, it's overwhelming. She feels this intense need to just breathe it in.
Wow. The fact that she, Astarte, this fallen being seeking redemption, is so drawn to that divine scent, it really highlights that internal battle, doesn't it?
It really does. The demon part of her is still pulled towards the essence of the other side.
Okay, so Toby's death isn't random. It shifts us right into the rules of this supernatural war.
Yeah.
And Detective Redmond is the one investigating it on the human side.
Right. And he's baffled. He's got a pattern emerging. 5 shootings, seem random at first glance. Victims include a homeless woman, a 14-year-old kid, all shot in the head. Execution style.
So how does Redmond, this total skeptic, stumble onto the supernatural angle? He wouldn't just jump to Nephilim?
No, definitely not. The break comes from good old-fashioned police work, actually. They seize a computer from a related case, a jewelry store, and find this custom-programmed hit list.
A hit list.
Yeah, and it's got the names of all the shooting victims on it. Toby Gallagher, Matthew Dan, Dorothy Southard, all of them.
And Brynna sees this list.
And she instantly knows. She sees the unifying factor. They're all Nephilim. She points out they tend to be tall, generally good-looking, and they all share this common background detail. Their human mothers could never identify the father.
So the list proves it. These are targeted assassinations. Someone is trying to stop these Nephilim from doing whatever it is they're supposed to do.
Exactly. It establishes a core rule. The enemy, whoever they are, knows who these people are, knows they're on the side of, let's call it creation, and is systematically taking them out before they can fulfill their purpose, their destiny.
Okay, so let's talk about the enemy. Who is doing the targeting? It seems like there are different types of antagonists involved.
Yeah, we can kind of group them by their role in the operation. First up, you've got the strategist, the puppet master. That's Lahash.
Another fallen angel.
Right, but he's described as sly, kind of cowardly. He operates under a human alias, Holy Man Hank, directing the whole campaign from the shadows.
Okay, so he's the boss. Who does the dirty work?
He uses a human shooter, a guy named Michael Klesowicz.
A human? Why?
Well, Klesowicz believes he's doing God's work. It's this really disturbing twist. Lahash is manipulating human faith to carry out these demonic hits.
That's chilling.
It is, and what's interesting is that even Klesowicz seems to feel something's wrong. The sources mention him getting this bad feeling, like a hand of death, when he gets close to his targets. He struggles with it.
Shows the power of that manipulation, I guess. Are there other demons involved?
Yeah, there are lower-ranking ones, like this demon named Gavino. His job seems to be more specific, tempting and isolating the Nephilim targets, like this girl, Mareva. He's meant to soften them up, make them vulnerable before the kill.
Okay, so Lahash plans, Klesowicz shoots, Gavino tempts. Who's after Brynna herself, then? Because they must know she's trying to switch sides, right?
Absolutely. And that's where the hunters come in. These are Lucifer's own soldiers. The sources say they're literally spawned from lava pools in the underworld.
Sounds pleasant. What are their rules? What makes them different?
They're the cleanup crew, basically, sent specifically to recapture highborns like Brynna who've gone rogue. Physically, they're described as monstrous, liquid crimson eyes, skeletal nose, black wings. But they also radiate this intense aura of temptation and sexuality. It's part of their weaponization, designed to destabilize their targets, especially fallen angels like Brynna, who might be vulnerable to that kind of power. They are the direct physical threat from hell, trying to drag her back.
So Brynna is constantly walking this tightrope, isn't she? Trying to pass as human, but having this immense power simmering underneath.
Exactly. And we see that tension play out perfectly when she ends up in jail briefly. Another inmate, Candy, threatens her.
Right. And Brynna doesn't just, like, punch her lights out, which she obviously could.
No, she does something weirder, more controlled. She unleashes this momentary wave of internal heat. Doesn't touch the woman, but our skin blisters just from the proximity.
Wow. A warning shot.
Precisely. It's a calculated display, shows her true nature without completely blowing her cover. And when she does it, there's this specific scent mentioned, dark, sweet, almost sickening, like hot, rotting cherries.
That scent again. It's like her demonic signature.
It seems to be, yeah. And later, we see her use that power not just defensively, but proactively, to protect Mareva, the Nephilim girl Gavino was targeting.
How does she find her?
Scent, again, and traces of blood and skin scrapings. She tracks Mareva to this basement where she finds the poor girl being tormented by these two, like, minor nuisance demons.
Nuisance demons, like supernatural pests.
Kind of, yeah. Squabbling, causing trouble. And Brynna's reaction here shows the sheer efficiency of her power against lesser beings. She doesn't fight them, she just eliminates them. The source describes it vividly. She does this brief supernatural shift, and they just turn into limp, stringy clumps of demon slop. They literally liquidate into the cement floor.
Okay, note to self.
Yeah.
Don't be a nuisance demon around Brynna.
Good rule to live by. But this efficiency contrasts sharply with the main event, the climax at Wrigley Field.
Right, where she tracks Mareva again.
Yeah.
How does she follow her there?
It's described as tracking Mareva's unique soul scent this time, like a bright blue string hanging in the air that only Brynna can perceive.
A soul scent. Wow. And the fight there is brutal, right? Against Gavino.
Oh, yeah. She goes full demon strength on him, scalps him, tears into his shoulder muscle. It's raw physical power.
But the real point of that scene isn't Brynna winning the fight, is it?
No, it's about Mareva. In the chaos of the attack, Mareva dies. But she dies protecting a complete stranger, this Professor D'Amato.
She fulfills her purpose.
Exactly. Brynna actually sees Mareva's soul leave her body, describes it as sparkling tan, and she knows instantly that Mareva completed her task, her destiny. It cements this rule. Destiny is real, it's mandatory, and for Nephilim, it often involves sacrifice.
But fulfilling Mareva's destiny puts Brynna in immediate danger, doesn't it? The hunters catch up to her right after.
They do. In an alley, they corner her, and their weapon of choice is fire gasoline. They try to burn her alive.
And her human form wouldn't survive that.
Not a chance. So she's forced into this instinctive, involuntary shift. Her ultimate defense mechanism kicks in.
She takes on her demon form.
Briefly, yeah. The fire-resistant one. Blackened, carbonized skin, those gray-brown veined wings, and radiating that intense sexuality and temptation that's part of her demonic essence.
And Detective Redmond sees this.
He sees it all. He witnesses the shift, the raw power, the oozing sexuality, the razor-sharp nails as she struggles to change back. It terrifies him.
But he stays. He doesn't run. That's huge.
It is. And Brynna, even in that state, shows this incredible adaptability. She has to destroy the hunter pursuing them. How does she do it?
Not just brute force.
No. She uses modern human tools, a cleaver from somewhere, and a garbage disposal.
A garbage disposal.
Yeah, because the rule for hunters seems to be total obliteration, especially the head, to prevent them from magically reassembling. So she uses the tools at hand. Ancient power meets modern convenience, you could say, to make sure that hunter stays down permanently.
Okay, so Redmond has now seen, well, everything. A woman heal instantly, turn demons into goo, shift into a winged creature, and obliterate another creature in garbage disposal. How does he even process that?
He struggles massively. Even after all that, his default setting is rationalization. He keeps trying to explain it away.
Like how?
Coincidence. Uncanny luck. Maybe she has some kind of super high healing metabolism. Anything but angels and demons. He literally calls it crazy crap.
Why is he so resistant? Is it just being a cop?
It seems deeper than that. The sources suggest it's a defense mechanism tied to his own emotional baggage. He apparently has a history of paranoia, of needing control in relationships, trying to sort of mentally pack women into safe little boxes he can understand.
And Brynna just explodes all those boxes.
Completely. Accepting the supernatural would mean accepting that his reality, the one he tries so hard to control, is fundamentally wrong, and he clings to that control.
He's literally staring infinity in the face and trying to file a police report on it.
That's a good way to put it. And Brynna calls him out on it directly. She tells him his limits only exist because that's what you've been taught to accept.
A direct challenge to his whole worldview.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Despite his brain refusing to accept it, there's this undeniable pull between them. An attraction.
Driven by her innate demonic essence.
Partly, yeah. She notices the physical effect she has on him. Dilating pupils, faster breathing, even the air temperature around his skin rising slightly. It's involuntary on his part.
She uses this.
She tries to. There's this moment where she kisses him, kind of aggressively, almost to teach him a lesson about boundaries, about the danger she represents.
How does that work out?
It backfires spectacularly. For her, she's blindsided by the human body's capacity for sensation. The kiss is described as exquisite and rapturous and unique. It leaves her wide-eyed and ravenous.
So the lesson hits both ways. He learns about her power, she learns about human vulnerability and connection.
Exactly, and that moment of shared vulnerability, it seems to seal his commitment. He knows she's dangerous. He knows she's, well, maybe not human. He calls her so fragile, so temporary in her human form, but still.
He steps up.
Big time. He basically bankrolls her new life, gets her fake ID, a burner phone, clothes. He becomes her protector. Her anchor in the human world he barely understands anymore.
And then the ultimate irony, right?
Yeah.
After the alley fight, after the fire and the hunter, where does he take her for safety?
Yeah, she's badly burned, still recovering from that forced shift, and he takes her to a church rectory, to a priest, Father Paul Murphy, for sanctuary.
A demon seeking refuge in the house of God. Wow.
It's an incredible full circle, isn't it? The highborn searching for redemption finds protection with a priest, brought there by the human man she both terrified and captivated. It suggests that maybe the most powerful forces aren't the supernatural ones, but maybe just human connection, loyalty, maybe even love. #outro.
So, wrapping this up, this deep dive into the Highborn world, it really paints a picture of this incredibly structured, high-stakes game happening just out of sight.
Yeah, you've got fixed destiny, you've got these immensely powerful beings hiding in plain sight, and this constant battle between, heaven and hell, or creation and destruction.
And it all seems to hinge on these small, interconnected choices made by gods, demons, angels, and by ordinary fragile humans.
And if you connect it back to Mareva, the Nephilim girl, her fate really underscores the weight of those choices.
Right, her death, protecting Professor D'Amato, it wasn't just a noble act. It had a specific purpose.
Yeah. The sources reveal that because D'Amato was saved, he was there to talk to this young man who was packing up his science fair project, totally defeated. D'Amato encouraged him, changed his mind, got him to try again.
So Mareva's entire short, tragic life, its ultimate point was to ensure that one kid didn't give up. That was the ripple effect.
That seems to be the implication. Her sacrifice was necessary for that specific human choice towards goodness or perseverance to happen.
Which leaves us with a pretty big question for you, the listener, to think about. If a Nephilim's whole existence, their predetermined destiny and sacrifice, can function as just one necessary step in this huge, unseen, often tragic, cosmic plan,
Yeah, if it's all just to nudge one human choice in the right direction.
then how much of our own lives, our own efforts, what we think of as our free will, how much of that is truly us? And how much might just be us playing out a role, creating ripples in a plan far bigger, far more complex, and maybe far more predetermined than we could ever imagine?